Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Dealing with some nasty weather here today. It just kind of blew through our area, although there's still a little bit to the north of us. It really started ramping up when it got about right to where we're at, just a little west of us. But as it moved through, boy, it really kicked up. And while the storm was hitting, I get toned out for a 911 call. A person was having a stroke, so I'm dealing with that in the midst of storms and hail and wind and lightning. It was a little crazy for a while. If I can remember, I'll put some pictures up of some of the hail. Heavy winds, and then just as it passed over our area just east of us, it spun up some tornadoes, and it's still moving as I speak up in the St. Louis, Missouri area, and looks like it's getting close to the kind of the New Madrid area over in eastern Missouri there along the Mississippi. And I'm actually waiting. I've put out feelers to all the fire departments and spoken with the emergency management director for the county to see what, if any help is needed with our emergency team. So I'm waiting to hear back from that. And I just thought I would get on here, but I mean, it still feels like we could have some more weather. A lot of times when these kind of storms blow through, cools things off a little bit, the, humidity levels drop, but it didn't. And we're going from, like right now it's sunny, and then just a few moments ago it was real heavy clouds, lots of wind still. So, and there's still a chance that later on we might get some more. So we will see. The weekend is almost here. Some of you, that means nothing, but a lot of you, Saturdays are kind of important to you, right? It's a nice day of rest for us, and which is needed, right? I mean, we all have a busy time, busy week, and we should take a day off. I think that's why the Most High partly put that in there, that you need to have a day of rest. He took a day of rest in creation, so we should take a day of rest also. I know that this past week, well, it's been longer than the past week, but the past week seems to be worse. It seems like a lot of people are just kind of angry at me of my content, what I'm saying. Although there's still many people that seem to be very pleased, and a lot of the folks that are watching my content that enjoy it are telling me that they're having a hard time finding it. I have been, and this is one of the things that makes me think that what's currently happening with the president and stuff is there's something nefarious going on that maybe we don't know about, or at least aren't 100% sure of, is because I am getting censored and demonetized on videos just as much as I did back during like the COVID era, maybe more. Talking, you'd think that YouTube would want to promote my videos if I talk bad about something that the president is doing, but that's actually not the case. But anyways, I know I've made a lot of people upset. A lot of you folks don't want to hear that, today it was announced that Nvidia, which is the big tech company, OpenAI, those companies went with Trump over to the Middle East when he was doing all his deals in the last few days, and they've announced now that they're working with the United Arab Emirates to build the world's largest AI data collection center in the UAE. That's great, right? No one wants to hear about, along with all of this stuff that happened over there, that the Trump family worked out some resort building deals and golf course deals in the Middle East also. No one wants to hear about the fact that Kristi Noem, the Homeland Security director, has announced that they're working with a producer of a reality TV show and considering doing a reality TV show with her as the Homeland Security director, and getting illegal migrant families doing some type of reality show competition to try to get legal residency and eventually citizenship. I mean, it sounds kind of like a reality show, Truman Show kind of thing going on. It's ridiculous. No one wants to hear about this kind of stuff. And I think the reason why a lot of people don't want to hear of criticisms. And you know, this is the other thing that's strange. I mean, I'm almost 50, so I've been around at least a little bit, not as long as some of you, but it's always been kind of an American thing to criticize our leadership in government. Even if they're of the same party that we, you know, adhere to, even if we voted for them, even if we like them, it's still kind of an American thing to criticize them and point out their inconsistencies, point out the lies, point out all the things that they're doing that's wrong. That's kind of the whole point of the American system of government, folks. You don't just elect a guy because you like him and then blindly support that person regardless. I mean, we've criticized the left many times with Joe Biden and all the others for doing that same thing. And yet conservatives get beat up by other conservatives because we criticize what Donald Trump's doing. And there's certainly things that's going on that people shouldn't be proud of, that conservatives should be pointing out. And I think the reason why, at least partly, is because a lot of people don't want to believe that Donald Trump and the Trump administration is not going to be able to save us. I think people want to believe that this system can be saved, and that someone is going to ride in on a white horse. And I'm not talking like a biblical references, so don't start jumping on that necessarily. But that someone's going to ride in on a white horse and save the day. I think it's unfortunate that Americans, left and right, have had that kind of ingrained in their head that someone else is going to fix it, not you. You just go about and be your little, you know, drone factory worker kind of person. Not that everyone works in factories, but you know what I'm saying. Be your little drone worker. Go out there and work your job, pay your taxes, go into debt, pay the bank. You know, pass your wealth on up the food chain, right? And then just trust that these people that we elect into office is going to fix everything. They're going to do everything right, and they're going to save the day. Not necessarily the other guy, but the guy that we like. He's going to save the day. And I think Americans, both left and right, and especially conservatives, we just, that's what we want, right? Or at least that's what people want in general. And so they elect a guy that looks like the polar opposite of what the last one looked like. Looks way better, and in many ways is. But still, things aren't getting done quite the right way. There's still some stuff that's really off. It's not right. But we don't want to criticize that because, well, that might mean that he's not capable of doing the job either. And we've put all of our effort into this, and it's definitely better than what we had, and maybe better than what we get the next time. So let's just keep our loyalty to this one and support him blindly, and understand that we take the bad with the good, right? And in the end, Americans willfully give up the responsibility of taking care of themselves by doing so. They believe that the system can be fixed. They don't want to wake up to the reality that the system is beyond fixing. The system is broken. And you can change things, you can put Band-Aids on it, you can do all this other stuff, but there's nothing to fix the system. It's not going to happen. I mean, you may be able to make it better for a while, but we will always end up getting back to the broken down system that it is. And I don't think people want to realize that, because that reality is harsh for them. That reality means that things are a lot worse. That I need to start taking more responsibility for myself. I need to stop doing things that are more fun or that are more lavish and focus on doing things that take care of myself. I need to work harder, not just at your job, but work harder at being self-sufficient. I need to take steps that are scary, you know? For those of you that's lived in the city most or all of your life, the idea of moving out here in the woods, out here in the country, and buying a piece of land and trying to be self-sufficient, I'm sure that's scary for some of you when you really think about it. And it can be. A lot of people don't succeed. I've said before that the Ozarks is considered probably second only to Alaska as a place in America that people come to live a more rustic life, and they fail. They stay here for 6 months, 18 months, and then they leave and they go back to the city because they can't handle it. It's too rough. There's not enough conveniences. You don't have Wi-Fi everywhere out here. You don't even have cell coverage out here. GPS doesn't work everywhere out here. You can't even get landline. I can't even get a landline phone at my house. Like they won't even come out there. There's places that you can't get electrical power to still. You know, I know people that have property where they live that they can't get electrical power to it. It's too far away from any lines. You know, and a lot of people can't handle that. And so it's hard to become more self-sufficient. It's hard to take more responsibility for your survival and stop depending upon, you know, the healthcare system and the electric grid and your 401k retirements and medical, you know, insurance and all this kind of stuff. We depend on that stuff. We invest in it. We believe in it. We think that it's going to fix us. And you know, if things get really bad or if I lose my job, I at least can have disability. And if I, you know, get old and retire, at least I have my retirement. And if I get sick and injured, at least I can go to the hospital. I don't want that, but at least it's there. People don't want to think about the possibility of those things not being there. You know, they don't want to think about the possibility of your bank not functioning, not having that piece of plastic to go spend. And so they want to hold on to and believe that someone is fixing it. And right now that someone is Donald Trump. And maybe he can fix some things, but I don't believe he can fix it all because the system is broken. He might be able to prolong some things, put a Band-Aid on some things. But honestly, some of the actions that he's doing almost look like it's pushing us into a different direction, yet still not good. Definitely a great reset. Glenn Beck has talked about that. He praises it, though. This is the guy that for years has talked and oh my goodness, the great reset's awful and it's bad. Now he's like, oh, the great reset's great because Donald Trump's doing it and he's doing it in a different way. The end result may look different, but it will still be the same big beast system. You can disagree with me all you want, but there's too much evidence showing that that's the direction we're going. And maybe history will prove me wrong, but at this point, I don't think so. What Americans need to do, and I know most of you are doing this, is to wake up and stop depending. You may still like him. You may vote for, well, you know, he's wanting to run a third term, so we'll see. But, you know, you may still be proud of your vote for Donald Trump, but at least have the awareness to point out things that are going on that aren't good or don't look good, and the fact that the end result, while may be different, can still be just equally as bad, and that you need to take responsibility for yourself. That's what we need to do. That's what preparedness is. That's what living a self-sufficient lifestyle is. It's learning to the skills, being in the location, having the things that's needed to be as least dependent upon the system, the existing systems as possible. And it doesn't mean that your life is going to be lived as equal as it is now. You know, you're going to have to downgrade. You're going to have to suffer a little bit. You're not going to get what you want. But can you survive? Yes. And that needs to be the goal. Because the longer that you are tethered to this system, the more you will make excuses for it. Because it's serving you. You're serving it. But you believe that the system is serving you. You believe that the system is making your life better. And, you know, we can't turn against this because as bad as it is, at least it's better than not having it at all. And so people convince themselves that, you know, well, you know, I'll tolerate all of this stuff so that I can get this other stuff. We have to start changing our thinking and begin the process of setting ourselves up in a place to where when that system completely fails or when that system becomes too evil to use, we can step away from it. I'm not saying you have to do that today, but at least start building your own contingency plan. That's really what prepping is a contingency plan. So that when the systems start failing or going in a dark direction that they seemingly are right now, then you can little by little break away from it. And if it falls out from under you, you're not going to collapse with it. That's really all I'm trying to say. And some people get it, but a lot of people don't. And I guess you can't fix everything. Can't fix everyone. You can't make everyone happy. And that's okay. But understand that this stuff that's going on, this stuff with Israel and the United States, I believe it's all a big game. It's a show. This stuff in the Middle East, it's a big show. This stuff with Russia and Ukraine, Europe, us, big show. Stuff with China and us, stuff with us and Iran, big show. It's all orchestrated. And you need to get ready because there's a lot of things happening, which means something disastrous out of all of those things could easily happen. And you need to get ready. Get your houses in order. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.